Welcome into another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com. I'm Tom Leach, along with Keeneland's Director of Simulcasting, Jim Goodman, and we're going to take a look at 5 stakes races on the card today. By the way, a couple of winners last week. I had Sweet Whiskey and Awesome Baby. Sweet Whiskey didn't pay much, but Awesome Baby, I think, paid $12 in a 4-horse field, amazingly enough. So hopefully we'll find our way to a few more this week. And, Jim, we'll start down in Gulfstream where they have 2 stakes races. The Grade 2 Fort Lauderdale is the 9th race for 4-year-olds and up on the turf at a mile and a 16th. And I thought a pretty good betting race here. Where did you go?
Yeah, I thought this one was wide open. Assuming a couple horses that are cross-entered, so I'm assuming Nicky Sandcastle is going to go in this race. He's obviously a better turf horse than he is dirt. And I think Summer Front might be the favorite here. Ran behind Silentio last time out at Hollywood Park in the Grade 2 citation, and Silentio, of course, came out of the Breeders' Cup. So I think Summer Front is probably the class of the race, but Nicky Sandcastle has a shot. He hasn't been out since October. They scratched him a couple weeks ago, and if he's ready, I think he's going to give a good account of himself. I think it's too short for Slumber, who's Bill Mott's horse, for Le Peru. Horse likes a little more distance. The other one I looked at in here is How Great, who is 3 for 4 at Gulfstream, so really loves Gulfstream, and Rosario's there, and How Great always seems to be in the money, so I think you might keep him underneath, but I would take Summer Front on top.
That's who I went with as well. I couldn't I tried to talk myself into a bigger price, but Summer Front just looks too good. I always thought this horse had a lot of ability. I think I picked him maybe in this podcast in the Lexington Stakes when he was a 3-year-old, and he ran second that day and just hasn't really broken through. But I thought that last race was maybe one of figure-wise it was his best, and he's working well, and maybe he's broken through to another level now for Christophe Clement, and he likes Gulfstream. So just too many reasons to not go with Summer Front in here. How Great I liked, and then a couple of the Mott horses, Tetradrachm and Slumber. And you make a great point about Slumber in the distance, but at the price, I'd got to if I'm going to play multi races, I might include him as the second choice to Summer Front. Just boy, if he could get back to a couple of those races he ran last fall at this distance, he'd be good enough at a nice price. But Summer Front's the pick for me. 10th race is the Hal's Hope, Grade 3, 4-year-olds and up at a flat mile on the dirt, so kind of an extended sprint at Gulfstream. It's the 10th race, and got some old back class horse like Jackson Bend in here. Pretty good betting race here, I thought, too. Where did you land?
Yeah, and I've got Jackson Bend, I've got Casaba. Simstown is impressive to me, 2 for 4 at Gulfstream. I'm going to go for a price in here. It looks like something in the racing form that's a little bit unusual. And good time had by all. Jorge Navarro just took over the training of this horse. And if you look down in the stats, the second off of a long layoff, he is 46% with a 295 ROI. So the horse has been working great. Looks like he's just kind of woke up here, and he's a 6-year-old gelding, and he's got some good back class. He ran in $40,000 for claiming races. I think you're going to get a price here, and that second off a long layoff, those stats just jumped right off the page at me. So I'm going to take him at a price over Jackson Bend, Casaba. Again, I think Nicky Sandcastle will probably run in the turf race. Neck and Neck is also a horse that obviously a lot of Grade 1, Grade 2 in his back running lines. But good time had by all at a price.
It's funny, we don't talk about this beforehand, who our picks are. That's the same horse I landed on as well for a lot of the same reasons. And this horse has, I think, always been best at an extended sprint, like 7 furlongs, 7.5, so a mile around one turn ought to be ideal. And Jackson Bend, Casaba, and Simstown were the 3 I had written down to use with him, but keying in on good time had by all. So we're both on the same price horse there in the Hal's Hope. We'll go to
think alike.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oaklawn Park has started up their meet, and their 8th race. It's an ungraded stake, the 5th season, and get a real heavy favorite there in the 1-1A entry. And I think Cyber Secret, the 1A is the stronger part of it probably. I'm going to try to beat him with Steel Case. Started to pick Joy Boy because of the speed, but Steel Case goes for Mark Cassie, so it's a very sharp trainer, does well off layoffs. This horse has some back class, and he'd been off a year and then ran in November at Churchill and ran on the turf, and first time ever, and ran okay, but that just kind of, I thought maybe that's a tune-up off the layoff just to get a race under him, working really well, and I'm going to take a shot with Steel Case in here and then key him with Cyber Secret, Jaguar Paw, and Joy Boy. What about you?
It's kind of hard to go against the owner of the racetrack on opening weekend. Charlie Sella owns Cyber Secret. He's 5 for 8 at Oaklawn, and he owns Drogue also. So, you would assume that the racing secretary probably favored the owner of the track in riding this race. I'm not sure. It's an open stakes race. I'm just kidding. But Charlie Sella's horses do seem to run well at Oaklawn. I'm going to try to beat him with a horse that's run well at Oaklawn in the past, and that's Do No Harm. If you go back in his running lines last year, January 11th and February 2nd, 2 best races of his career came at Oaklawn. He's 2 for 2 last year, and then came back in the Razorback and ran behind Cyber Secret. So he's got an uphill climb, but I think he's actually got a shot here simply because he loves Oaklawn so much. Maybe Cyber Secret's not quite ready yet, but I'm going to take a price on Do No Harm, but Cyber Secret's going to obviously be the favorite with as part of the entry.
A couple stakes races at Santa Anita on Saturday. The 5th is an early Derby prep. It's the Grade 3 Sham Stakes for 3-year-olds at a mile, and really a pretty, a very weak Grade 3 race. You got 3 horses coming off maiden wins that are the 3 choices on the morning line. I ended up going with Midnight Hawk, the 6th, just because it's a weak Grade 3, so I'll go with Baffert's horse. Pedigree, hadn't been around 2 turns, but the pedigree suggests that he can stretch out, working well, and with only 6 horses, maybe not a great exacta race, but if you want to bet one, I would try him with Top Fortitude, just because I think the Sadler horse down on the inside will get bet more than Top Fortitude will with the less well-known connections. But Midnight Hawk's going to be the pick for me. What about you?
Midnight Hawk was mine as well. You look at the 2 outside horses; they each had Top Fortitude and Midnight Hawk both had very impressive maiden wins. A lot of reasons to go with Midnight Hawk with Mike Smith over Kayla Straw and Bob Baffert over Corey Owens. So you've got a named trainer over a not so named trainer. The other horse I like is Cristo on the inside with John Sadler. Horse has been 3 to 5 every time he's run, so you're probably not going to be 3 to 5 this time, maybe 3 to 1. So it might be a decent price, and his buyer progression is good. 65, 79, 84 at 6 furlongs, 6.5 and a mile and 16. Cutting back a little bit to a mile might help that inside speed. And I think he is going to get bet, but I'm going to take the outside horse over the inside horse, Midnight Hawk over Cristo.
8th race is the Grade 2 San Pasqual, 4-year-olds and up at a mile and a 16th. You've got a horse like Blue Skies and Rainbows that ran in the Breeders' Cup Marathon that's in here. Rousing Sermons can be consistent over the last few years. Who did you land on?
Blue Skies and Rainbows. I picked him in the marathon. I picked him in the Native Diver, and he just came up short in the marathon. I think it does. This race, his speed is not going to he's not the lone speed. I think Majestic City is going to go at the lead with him, and I think a couple other horses have some speed in here. I'm going to take him. Drill has a shot, but I'm going to take probably Rousing Sermon behind him just because of the consistency in the past. So I'm going to take Blue Skies and Rainbows over Rousing Sermon.
I'll go for a bit of a stretch here in Majestic Harbor. Connections aren't doing anything to light up the win column, but I think this horse is working well off a layoff, a long one. Has some back class, and that intrigues me a little bit, and mainly it's just the price. I'm not real wild about anybody else in here, so I'd try Majestic Harbor, use him with Blue Skies and Rainbows and Rousing Sermon, the 2 that you mentioned, but just kind of shopping for a price here at a race that I'm not real wild about the top betting choices. I think of the races on Saturday, I think the best ones from a betting standpoint, probably the 2 stakes down at Gulfstream. I think you had a good chance to hit maybe a decent price in one of those at least. Anything special going on as far as contests this month?
We have another Friday night contest on Turfway Park, Penn National, and Delta Downs. Last Friday we had 112 entries, which is pretty good for a cold Friday night when I was worried about people not coming out because the weather, and Turfway was iffy as far as they were running. They ran. We had 112 entries, and first place was $1,100. So somebody took $30 and made it into $1,100.
Wow.
So we're going to do that every Friday night throughout the month of January. So Turfway, Delta Downs, Penn National, and then next Friday, the 17th, Fairgrounds is also running. So we put them all in there, and you bet any 12 races you want. We feed you, get a program, and have a great time at the races on Friday night for $30. And we try to give back a little. We give back almost everything there. So the prize pool is great. And a guy was led wire to wire last week.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. Just a great way to spend a Friday night. And handicap.
In the equestrian room.
And you just pick any 12 races from those 4 tracks.
Yeah, I think the 21 races are eligible. Anything before 9:30, we cut it off at 9:30 so we can audit and get people out of there. And I think there's 21 races. You pick any 12. $2
Great.
win place, mythical bankroll, just like the Vegas tournament. So it's a lot of fun.
All right, that's at the Keeneland Simulcast. And, of course, you can always bet through KeenelandSelect.com as well. And we will be back here next Saturday for another edition of the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.